You guys, I can't lie, Gen Z is probably the funniest generation around. But some of y'all need to chill. People seem to be coming up with new reasons to be offended every day, and I literally can't keep up with it. Whenever I'm scrolling through TikTok, I come across a new random thing that everyone is upset by, and some of it is just going too far. Loves, we all know that Gen Z is probably the most progressive generation there is. Most of us are very respectful of the people around us, willing to learn about each other's identities, and very well educated about social and political issues because a lot of us have had such easy access to resources on the internet. However, some people on the Gen Z side of the internet have a tendency to go a little too far when it comes to being progressive, so much so that it kind of sends them a step back. Obviously, I'm not talking about things like respecting people's pronouns, educating ourselves on other cultures, or being mindful of people who live in different circumstances and may have it harder than we do. These are all important things that we should be doing to support one another. I'm talking about people who make stuff up and complain about unimportant issues just to feel more important than others. Like getting offended when someone talks about a food that you're allergic to, or thinking you're oppressed because you're attracted to bees. Y'all. Despite all its problems, social media has actually proved itself to be a really helpful tool to learn about social issues and become more accepting of other people. There's such an insane amount of content from all over the world to watch and share. Before social media, unless you did a lot of traveling, there was no way you would come across so many people from so many different backgrounds. These days, you can easily open TikTok or Instagram and learn a little bit more about what's going on in the world. For example, when a trans or non-binary person speaks out about how important it is to use their correct pronouns, or a person of color explains that dressing up in a certain Halloween costume is offensive to their culture, it helps us to make the world a safer and more accepting place for everyone to live in. Social media has been amazing in the respect that it has shaped Gen Z into a group of respectful and educated people. Still, it seems that while certain communities are finally getting the respect they deserve, it's making a few people feel left out. So these few people have had to come up with new, irrelevant problems just so they can be the center of attention and take the spotlight away from those who actually need it. And when people do this, it mocks people who have actually been discriminated against because of who they are. So you guys, I just need to vent for a little while about how Gen Z is taking all of this too far. First of all, some people have apparently come up with a new sexuality called Barlow, which means you're attracted to bees. I'm not kidding. People are really doing this. Not only have they made up a fake sexuality to make fun of the LGBTQ community, but they even came up with a slur to go with it. Do they know how slurs work? You don't just come up with a slur and then tell people not to use it. A slur word is a word that has been used to insult people of certain communities and then be reclaimed by those communities. Not just something you can make up to feel like you're in some kind of exclusive club. I feel like this was probably just some troll trying to get a rise out of people, since I can't imagine that someone is actually attracted to bees. But seriously, mocking the LGBTQ community and implying that slurs are no big deal? Not cute. Then, of course, we have white people who, for some reason, are apparently jealous that people of color are more oppressed than them. Like this girl, who clearly doesn't understand the difference between race and nationality. What? Is this really the battle you want to fight? Besides, you know that French and Belgian are your nationalities and not your race, right? You know that you can be white and French at the same time, right? And you're really trying to speak over people who actually do encounter issues because of their race when you are clearly in a position of privilege? I'm so done. I'm not even sure if she's trolling or not either, because she made a bunch of other TikToks talking about the same kind of thing. In this next one, she lists a bunch of terms that are discriminatory to the French race. Obviously, it's not cool to use stereotypes about people from different countries against them. Still again, French is not a race. And apparently, she's even trying to say that speaking in a different language is cultural appropriation. Are you saying that we can't learn new languages in school anymore or use any words that aren't from our native language? That feels like such a step back to me. As y'all can imagine, this girl got dragged so hard on TikTok that she has deleted her account. So hopefully she has actually done some reading about the difference between race and nationality in her time off TikTok. Speaking of people who want to be the center of attention, someone on Twitter actually quote tweeted someone talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They got really butthurt about the fact that people were talking about peanut butter because they are allergic to it.
What the hell we gonna do now?
TBH, this is really insensitive. People have peanut allergies and gluten intolerances, and you're out here acting like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are a universal experience. We can't even talk about sandwiches anymore. I give up! I really can't tell if this one is a joke or not, but I'm pretty sure this next TikToker is actually being serious. So there's this girl on TikTok who seems to think that she is a vampire and talks about the vamphobia she faces. It says in her bio in all caps that it is not satire, so she could actually be serious. In this TikTok, she says that one of her classmates called her a vamphobic slur, so she bit their hand. Y'all, we literally just went through a pandemic, and she's out here biting people's hands at school! And in case you're wondering what a vamphobic slur is, she gave us a handy list in this next TikTok. Sorry, you guys, we can't talk about the Twilight movies ever again. I don't make the rules. She even made a TikTok explaining how to make schools more vampire inclusive. I'm sorry, blood fountains? Imagine taking a sip from your hydro flask and realizing you accidentally went to the blood fountain instead of the water fountain. I told y'all this was getting out of hand. The comments on all of her videos are such a mixture of people who are sure that she has to be joking and people who are calling her out for being dumb. I mean, a lot of this just has to be satire and people trying to get a reaction. Still, honestly, there's so much of this nonsense on TikTok that I literally can't tell the difference anymore. Seems like a lot of people are going out of their way to find new reasons to be offended, but why? So they can feel special? Nobody wants to be oppressed. And making TikToks like this just takes the spotlight away from people who actually are oppressed and whose voices deserve to be heard. And if you have to come up with a brand new identity just to feel like the world is against you, you probably don't have it that bad. But loves, what do you think about the situation? Does Gen Z need to chill? Are they too easily offended? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I love you so much.